Good afternoon. This is Tom Dermody, Mayor of the City of LaPorte. Kind of a quick AMA, but also an updated uh, information session on COVID-19 with an important announcement. I would like to say this is countywide. With me today is Commissioner Sheila Mathias. Because of the short notice, we were not able to get a hold of Mayor Dwayne Perry of Michigan City. But what we're about to share with you today is a countywide health department order that Michigan City and the city of LaPorte have worked together with the commissioners and fully support this. And today, with the leadership from our Commissioner Sheila Mathias, we have this order, and I want to welcome her. This was something we had to do. And Commissioner, if you just want to add to that, I'll be glad to follow up from there.
Great. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Mayor Dermody, for your leadership. This is a really, really tough time for LaPorte County. As most of you know, if you've been following social media or any of the numbers in the newspapers, on the radio, you know that our numbers have skyrocketed over the last 2 weeks. Just yesterday, we had 142 positive cases. That is a record-breaking number. And so earlier in the week, across all the jurisdictions, small towns, large towns, county government, and the main city governments, we began to have some really serious conversations. What do we need to do as a county, collaboratively, together, because we are all in this together. So we decided that we were moving to what we're saying stage vigilance. We need to really be much more vigilant to stop the spread of this virus. It is now affecting not just the people whose numbers we read, but it's affecting our friends, our neighbors, our families. And I venture to say pretty much all of us now know someone who has COVID or who has been exposed to COVID, who's been sick, or even some people who've been hospitalized. Our hospitals are full. Our healthcare heroes need our tremendous praise and thanks. Our teachers, those who are first responders and EMS and EMA, our 911 center, all the folks who are working so hard to keep our community safe. But now we're really saying we need to step up as a community across this entire county and work together to see what we can do. So, Tom, would you like to begin to start reading the order from our chief health officer, or would you like me to do that?
Why don't you go and do that? I would just like to add to Commissioner Mathias two goals. Number one, we do not want to overwhelm our healthcare system, and we're close to doing that on a regional basis in Porter, St. Joe, and LaPorte, Stark County as well. And number two, we want to keep the economy going. We all remember what April was like when there was a shutdown. So we've all chosen not to put our head in the sand, ignore this, and do some what I think are common sense approaches that hopefully will flatten the curve like we've talked about in the past and keep business going. So Commissioner Mathias, if you want to take the first seven, and then I'll follow up from there.
Okay, so I think what Mayor Dermody is alluding to is that this is not a political problem. This is not a jurisdictional problem. This is a human issue. It's an issue that affects each one of us in our families, in our workplace, in our neighborhoods, in our faith communities. And that's why we've joined forces across all of the county to see what can we do to really stop the spread and slow that curve. So we've agreed, and our Chief Health Officer, Dr. Ducey, has issued an order just this afternoon. You're hearing it live here first because the press hasn't gotten this yet. This is from the LaPorte County Health Department, signed by Dr. Ducey, who is by state law our Chief Medical Officer, and in times of emergency and crisis, she is mandated by the state to make sure that our public health policies are appropriate. So this afternoon, she issued this order. The first section is talking about how it's consistent with the governor's executive order released yesterday, Order 2048, on restrictions for Orange counties. Social events are limited to 50 people. We are now in the orange. If the county shifts to red, which is even higher COVID presence, then the applicable limit of 25 persons will apply. So that means social events right now are limited to 50 people. If we continue to go in the wrong direction, that will be changed to 25 people. Number 2, special events of more than 50 people will need approval from the LaPorte County Health Department, specifically seasonal or special events, including concerts, musical performances, movie screenings, fairs, festivals, weddings, wedding receptions, convocations, and sporting events that anticipate attendance of more than 50 people must obtain approval from the health department or the applicable state agency. Number 3, the governor's mask mandate remains in full force and effect, with both employees and patrons of any establishment required to wear a mask that fully covers both the nose and the mouth. And number 4, indoor and outdoor capacity for bars, restaurants, and entertainment venues to be governed strictly by the CDC's social distancing guidelines. So that's the spacing of tables and including the spacing of humans to include the social distancing guidelines of 6 feet. Number 5, self-serve buffets and salad bars, as well as using karaoke, are banned at the present time. Number 6, maximum party size at individual tables in restaurants, bars, and in clubs will be reduced to 6. And there will be a mandate of midnight closure for all bars, restaurants, and clubs. Mayor Dermody.
So number 7, and before I do this, this will all take effect on Monday, November 16th, and will continue in full force until further notice. I know the governor, I think, is out about to December 12th, but the county, we will all coordinate together, but again, takes effect Monday, November 16th, and will go until further notice. One that we did in the past and will continue is number 8, retail establishments, the Krogers, the Walmarts, all those retail entities. We will be limiting 2 persons per 1,000 square foot of retail space, and all carts must be sanitized, and it should not exceed more than 250 persons in a retail establishment at any time. So for a larger Walmart, we have the extension that 250 is the max. Otherwise, it's 2 per 1,000 square feet, and each retail establishment will be in charge of coordinating and holding this standard for everyone. Retail establishments with 2,000 square feet or less may be allowed to up to 5 customers at a time. We know this puts a strain on people, but there are options. There is Instacart, there's home delivery, and we don't want to keep lines outside, especially with the colder weather coming. So hopefully people will find alternatives, buy larger when they can, so they don't have to go back to the grocery store every day or every other day. Gyms and fitness centers, number 9, including locker rooms, are going to be subject to strict adherence to social distance gatherings. So a lot of the numbers came down when fitness and gyms were separating treadmills, all types of bikes and so forth, and we'll be going back to allowing that to happen for gyms and fitness centers. And then libraries, funeral homes, swimming pools are also subject to the strict adherence to social distancing requirement. And the key is, because many of you has asked about enforcement in the past. That's great that we come up with all these rules and orders, but how are you going to follow up with enforcement? And so the city of Michigan City, the city of LaPorte, will be helping the department, the LaPorte County Health Department, in enforcement, working with those businesses to make sure everyone is following the order, and most importantly, keeping everybody safe. Commissioner, if you want to add anything on that?
Yes, I would. So we've had great cooperation and good cooperative conferences this week about how can we help each other. We get a lot of complaints, people saying, who do I talk to if I see noncompliance or if I see something that's really unhealthy for the community. So we are working with both the City of Michigan City and the City of LaPorte to have inspectors assist our health department to go out and respond to those complaints, make sure that restaurants, bars, large retail establishments are really following this order because that's important for our health. Those folks will be paid through the CARES Act fund. We've been really successful in this county of getting those federal dollars returned to us. So those will not be our tax dollars. Well, they are our tax dollars. They're actually our dollars being returned. So we're going to be using CARES Act funds for that have been given to us through the governor's office for making sure that we have local compliance. And city inspectors will be paid by the county government as extra hire personnel. So that will be, that's a really good collaborative effort. And then if you do have complaints or you see something that really strikes you as wrong, we are encouraging you to contact the LaPorte County Health Department COVID-19 hotline. So we have a hotline for COVID-19 related issues, whether it's where do I get tested, whether it's I see something at the grocery store that really is bothering me, or I have a question. This is where you call 219-362-2525 with any reports of noncompliance for this order. So if you see things that you think aren't correct, or you believe somebody should go out to check on them to make sure that a business is complying, please call that number again, 219-362-2525. This order was signed this afternoon by Dr. Ducey, our medical director for LaPorte County, who is mandated by the state of Indiana as our chief health officer. So this is an important document. But I think what's most important is not the words in the document, but it's the intent. The intent is that your leaders across all jurisdictions, across small towns and large communities, are really concerned for your health, and we need your help. So Dr. Cora always talks about the 4 pillars. The 4 pillars are wearing your mask properly. So I'm sure you have seen, like me, people with their mask around their chin, and it might be great for a chin warmer, but it's really not protecting you from germs, and it's certainly not protecting other people. And that's why you're really wearing a mask, is you're protecting other people from any possible germs, because many times people are non-symptomatic. This virus is really tricky, and I have to use the word insidious. It's really insidious. It passes in a very aggressive fashion, and so wearing a mask is one proven technique. It's not a political statement. It's a health statement. If you went into the emergency room, or you went into surgery, or you go to get your teeth cleaned, for example, they're always masked, and that's to protect you from germs. So it's not anything different than that. It's just protecting the community from germs. Washing your hands. If you don't have soap and water and you can't do the 30-second thing, they say sing ABCs or happy birthday while you're washing, so you make sure you're washing long enough. And if you don't have that soap and water, although good old soap and water works, you can use hand sanitizer. Keeping surfaces clean, doorknobs and commonly touched surfaces, is a really good way of reducing your risk. And then again, social distancing, 6 feet apart. So at the grocery store, make sure you are standing away from people, that when you're in the aisle, you're being patient. And it's kind of an act of kindness, because sometimes people are really slow in the grocery store and you have to stand and wait your turn. And that's okay. That's your penance or your act of kindness. And then the last thing is, if you aren't feeling well, use your sick days. Do not go to the office. Do not go to your place of business. Do not go to the factory, because you're increasing the chance of making other people sick. So if you do feel a little bit not well, best to stay home for the day. It keeps you safe and make sure that you have a chance to get better. And it also keeps the rest of the community safe. So those couple things that you can do to help us. But the main thing is, we're in this together as a community. And while we may be the second largest county and we're really big geographically, we also we're a very small, very closely knit community. Whether you live in South County, Wanata, La Crosse, you live in LaPorte City, Westville, Michigan City, Union Mills, any of the communities in between, that we are all connected, and this is a way for us to take care of our friends and our neighbors. As Mayor Tom and I were talking about, those folks that are in the hospital, those teachers, they're our friends, they're our neighbors, they're our relatives, our sons and daughters, and our firefighters, our first responders, ambulance, all of the folks that are working on the 911 24/7, they're responding to our concerns. Those are our family members and our community members and our friends. And so we want to make sure that we're doing what we can to keep them safe and make sure that we're not, as Mayor said, putting them in harm's way. And really, they're getting tired. We're all tired, but they're getting particularly tired because they've been in service now for 9 months.
Well, and thank you, Commissioner Mathias. Also, thank you to Commissioner Cora and Commissioner Merzinski, who have all supported this, along with Mayor of Michigan City, Dwayne Perry. Unfortunately, because of the quick turnaround, we weren't able to get everybody on. But we want you all to know we're in this together. And the reason we're doing this, we've had a 95% uptick in COVID. We're up to 500 cases a week. And the one thing we don't want to do is overwhelm our health system, which we are basically doing at this point right now. And number two, we do not want to shut down the economy. So I think with these simple common sense approaches, we can overcome this and flatten the curve. So we hope that you'll support this. If you have questions at the city level, again, Jeff Batchelor, Code Enforcement, is at 362-0149, or the office here at 362-0151. And then you can text me day or night or follow Facebook pages at 363-7293. Commissioner Mathias put it best. We're all in this together. It's the last thing any of us want to do and talk about, but we wanted to share this. This will take effect Monday morning, and we look forward to all your support and working together. So with that, Commissioner Mathias, anything you'd like to add?
I would like to add that we will be posting this document on the LaPorte County website. So it's laporteco.in.gov. I believe it's laportecounty.in.gov. If you want to see the order, you want to print it off, it'll be available. We'll be putting that up momentarily. And then again, if you have questions or you have concerns, you can call the hotline at the health department. This is the COVID-19 hotline. So it's COVID related issues only, 219-362-2525. And Mayor Dermody, we are in this together. And thank you so much for your leadership.
Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.